the FEI Nations Cup Final 2021 Kronenberg. Next competition, the Children Grand Prix, is on the fully 50 riders. The competition is just up. From Kronenberg, assistants, Peter Wietse, Olaf Helland, opvaartspied, André Bales, Martin Jansman. 13 obstacles, 16 endpoints. The next obstacle for the 40 meters. Download will be 76 seconds. En op de start 26 seconden. We staan achter de 76 seconden. Toegestaande tijd 76 seconden. Dit is zo dadelijk tot 7 minuten te gaan. 6 minutes left than the first runner in the Basco Park Arena. Attention, riders, there's a signal. Please leave the arena now. You can have the signal plan. Je kunt de piste verlaten, dank u.
So a very good afternoon and welcome back to Clip My Horse TV and the Equestrian Centre de Pilbergen for the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Finals and our Children on Horses Grand Prix for our entertainment here this afternoon. It is a jump-off class as you'd expect from a Grand Prix competition, and the time allowed here in round number 1 set at 76 seconds. The expected pace for the Children on Horses of 350 metres per minute. And looking like 55 combinations coming forward to battle it out. Of course, the jump off to settle all equality for equal first. And we'll start with Poland. Poland's Filip Skazinski, who comes forward as the first. Vodka Podla, that is the ride. Some good performances in the Nations Cup classes of Zudovis as a combination in the early part of the year. In fact, the combination started their season this year with a win in Poznan, in fact, in the young rider classes there. So again, if those of you who joined us for the Ponies Grand Prix a little earlier on, the water was a major influencing factor, as was the time allowed, in fact. Let's see how it plays out now for the Children on Horses. Of course, a different track here for this one. Couple of minor changes been made, so here's the water now. Little pop over there, so no problems. In fact, it looks like just a jump over water, in fact, rather than the actual water jump, but the rail afterwards that comes down, and it is 4 to add to the score there. Up and over the final fence, but it is 2 rails that fall, and 8 is the score for our first combination on track. 70.98, so no danger of time, but it is the 2 rails that fall along the way for Filip Skazinski and for Vodka Polda. We go on to the Swedish contingent now, and it is to Linnea Arberg-Cronin who comes forward as the next. Combination that were clear yesterday in the team competitions, but a new ride for Linnea here with this one. They had a good time in Hagen and indeed in San Marin as well. It is Jarter as the ride, a 12-year-old mare by Heartbeat with Krios XX lines. Well, again, jumps over the little water tray there with the pole over it, but it is, in fact, 4 at the following fence. Trap that a lot of riders fall into, where they get so concerned over a certain fence, and once they clear that, they get such a great relief from it, but they lose that concentration, and that is what we've seen there for jumping with Linnea and with Jata. We stay with the Swedish riders, and this is the turn of Linn Arvidsson. Again, jumped the clear for the team, as did the previous rider. Clear yesterday in the team competitions. They're also the winners of the Children on Horses Grand Prix of San Marin. Now in their 3rd season together. This is Glenn Morangi, in fact, is the ride. 9 years of age now, the gelding by Cyclone 1083 with landlord lines as well. All looking good so far. Could they be our first clear? Yes, they are. They jumped the clear inside the time as well, 72.06. So we get clear round at number 1 here in the Children on Horses Grand Prix, and it comes in the early stages from Linn Arvidsson and from Glenn Morangi for Sweden. Onwards to Great Britain and to Eve McCoy now. Again, clearing the teams yesterday. They started their campaign together in late 2020, but they've had a good time in the international competitions of Verden and Hagen, to name a couple. This is Non-Stop as the partner on track. 13 years of age now, this Nintendo side gelding with Canaan lines. Eve, of course, daughter of champion jockey AP McCoy. She's had a rough landing there and going into the combination, missing the left pedal, but she's not deterred. Good solid foundations with this rider. Has she got that stirrup back? It looks like it. Really, really well recovered after an early error on course. No, she's still going, in fact. As you can see, the stirrup's still loose on the left side. Yeah, now she's got it back. Quite impressive, considering these riders are between just 12 and 14 years of age, to make it pretty much the entire way around the track faultlessly with just one stirrup. It is a touch over the time allowed, as you'd expect. The little bit of time wasted with the heavy landing and then the change of pace to try and recover that stirrup. But it is 1 for time, I'm afraid, for Great Britain's Eve McCoy, and for Non-Stop. Clear jumping, 1 for time. Onwards we go. This is Denmark's Olivia Dressler now, and Bulls Cappuccino comes forward as the ride. 10 years of age, a gelding by Cabochon, the winners of the Grand Prix in Hulefmal. In fact, they took second in that same Grand Prix 1 year previous. No strangers to the podium placings in the Grand Prix competitions. In fact, looking at the horse's record, it's had a good time across the course of the European season. Oh, you can see the little plank on the front rail there just happens to rock as they tap it on the way over, but it's stayed in the cups. This could be our second and guarantees of that jump off. It's never really in doubt with the caliber of horse and rider on track, but no, I'm afraid it is the penultimate fence and the last that falls, and that will bring about the score of 8 for Olivia and for Bulls Cappuccino. Matilda Frigo will come forward now, the Italian combination here. First Lady H is the ride. In fact, this is the rider's first international outing here at Pilbergen for the Youth Nations Cup Finals. This is an 11-year-old mare by Nabab Derev with Mermus R lines. All going well so far, just a couple of fences from home. Yeah, no problem, 72-77, and that gives us that clear round number 2. Italy find a way into the jump off with Matilda Frigo and First Lady H. Onwards we go to Spain, in fact, now, and Carlos Borro-Giron, who comes forward as the ride, or rider, should we say. Bernon Villeclair is the rider, Excuse me. Some solid performances across the course of the season in Gijon, and indeed before that in Villamora. Competing in the 2-star competitions as well as the children on horses. Misjudges the final fence as well. It's 8 for jumping. It's also a tick and a tock over that time allowed. 1 for time with Spain's Carlos Borro-Giron and Bernon Villeclair. Maria Ilaria Grilli comes forward now, riding for Italy here. Already with 1 Italian rider through to the jump-off. Can we make it 2 now? Siata del Tarizio comes forward as the ride, in fact. This is a 9-year-old mare by Cancan del Tarizio with Pachi Dardrier on the dam side. second in the Grand Prix of Gorla Minor. In fact, they were also a top 10 finish in Carbourg a few weeks before that as well. They've got a strong season behind them so far. Can they produce the goods here and find round number 3 in the Milestone Farm Arena? Could be a touch too steady, I'm afraid. Well, it's inside the time, in fact, but I'm afraid that final fence falls, and 4 is the score there for Maria and for Seata del Taricio. To Brent now, to Belgium, and Brent de Schrijver, who comes forward as the next. Combination, in fact, placed 8th just yesterday. This is Orleijn van Prisenveld, a 7-year-old mare by Thunder van der Zoethoven with Convento van der Hel lines for Staal Prisenveld. Combination that took the top spot in one of the Grand Prix at Vipperfurth over the summertime. In fact, took 1st and 4th in that Grand Prix with the 2 rides. Well, that little plank after the water that falls has caused a couple of problems so far. The skinny plank becoming more and more part of the common obstacles on tracks now. The equipment that course designers use ever evolving. They've always got a few more tricks up their sleeves, and it is a result of 4 there for Brent de Schrijver and for Orleijn van Prisenveld. 4 faults for the Belgian combination there. To Switzerland now, and Eugenie Borand, who comes forward. Celesio is the partner on track, an 11-year-old gelding by Kolensky G. Nordanos on the dam side. The early part of their international campaign together. And faults early in the course here at Pilbergen. 4 faults, the first in fact. Well, as we said, still very early in their career as a pairing. A couple of early problems on course and a couple of rails down, but it's all about experience at this stage. They're still learning the job. They're still learning all about each other as well. So into time as well, and it is, you know, there's a few problems along the way, but again, very early in their career together, nothing too catastrophic, and a lot to like about the combination, a lot to watch for the future as well. Just not to be today, I'm afraid, for Eugenie and for Celesio. This is Dan now, Dan Adams, for the Netherlands with Jeanette van den Kempenhoven. Top spots in the Grand Prix of Valkenswaard back in August. In fact, a third place finish in the Nations Cup team events of Hagen as well over the summertime. Jeanette is a 9-year-old mare by non-stop with Corum de Laubrie lines. Two clears in the early stages here, but a ways to go in round number one with 47 combinations remaining. Will this combination produce the goods and give us clear round number three? We're one fence from home. Time looks okay. The score's good as well. It's clear all the way as our third with Dan Adams and with Jeanette van den Kempenhoven. Again, good riding, adaptive riding down to the little water there. He seemed a little bit concerned about it before the round. But, yeah, really well done for that combination. Onwards down the list we go, and it is Alana Fagan's turn now. Ballycarrick Lass comes forward as the partner this time. It's by Ars Vivendi, and 11 years of age now, this mare. Saw Alana, in fact, a little earlier on today in the pony competitions, in the 1m20 there, picking up a win as well. In fact, the Irish riders doing a fantastic job so far here at Peelbergen and indeed across the circuit. Oh, the lightest little touch brings that plank crashing down. Just a little bit too forward into that one. Pony got a little bit careless, or horse rather, got a little bit careless, and just picks up the plank on the front rail. It's close to time, but it is inside. It's 4 for jumping, though, with that little purple plank causing the problem and precluding this combination from our jump-off for the CSIO Children on Horses Grand Prix. To Switzerland we go once again, and it is to Leon Hansi, in fact, here. Curie PJ is the ride, 11 years of age, a mare by Contender with Escudo lines. Combination that rode into 4th place in the Nations Cup teams of Gula Minore, and indeed before that 5th in the Grand Prix of Chevenay as well. No strangers to the International Grand Prix, even for just a young rider. But I'm afraid it is the back part of the combination, the Stahl Hendricks blue combination, that falls, and 4 is the score. Well, it is just the four there, just the back part of that combination that falls, but it's enough to preclude them from our jump-off as well. A four-fault round with Leon Hansi and Quiri PJ. So we stay with the three clears from the first dozen starters, and it is to Great Britain we go now. Nora von Bulau, who comes forward. This combination part of the bronze medal winning team at the European Championships back in August, and also took two of the three-star victories in Villamora across the course of the summertime as well. Lucky Lisa is the name of the mare, 11 years of age by Heartbeat with Lux Z lines. Riding here for Sharifa Al-Homazi, Nora von Bulau. Always nice to see Nora riding so dynamic and such a quiet and gentle rider. Gives the horses the very best chance, and she has done here today, 72.33, and that will do it. It's clear round at number 4 for Great Britain's Nora von Bulau and for Lucky Lisa. So it's building into quite a jump-off list when we get there, but again, a ways to go here in round number 1 as we'll turn our attention with that to Germany's Emma Backel now. This is Classic White 2 that comes forward as the ride. Had a string of top 5 finishes all across Europe at the 2-star level. This is now a 10-year-old mare with Clarimo and San Patriano Cassini lines. So far, 1 for Sweden, 1 for Italy, 1 for the home team of the Netherlands, and 1 for Great Britain through to that jump-off at this stage. We may well see 1 for Germany, but it won't be this combination, I'm afraid. The Stahl-Hendricks combination takes another victim. And again, it's the final part of both of our combinations, the double and the treble combination that have fallen. And 8 is the score then, 8 for Germany's Emma Backel with Classic White. We turn our attention back to the Dutch riders then, and it is Jersey Kuipers that comes forward now. JK Horse Trucks Quanta Questa is in fact the ride. This is 13 years of age now, a gelding by Kidam de Revel with contender lines. Picked up a 7th place finish in the Grand Prix here at Peelbergen just last week, and in fact a 10th place finish in the Grand Prix of Lamprechtshausen over the course of late August. Oh, what a shame. Tips the rail coming into the double there. At 11A, in fact, that falls. And 4 is the score as we lose Jersey in the first round. 4 there with JK Horse Trucks at Contequesta. Back to the British riders then. 1 British rider safely through to the jump off. Can we make it 2 with this combination? Madison Seedhouse comes forward. And it is Chico de la Mosas that comes forward as the ride. Decent performances across the course of the summertime at Bowlesworth and indeed at Virden before that. And in fact jumped the clear just yesterday in the team aspect of the competitions here at Pilbergen, but it won't be clear today with the top rail off fence 5 that falls there. Well, up to 12 now as the third rail falls. The front rail off the parallel coming into that double at 11A and B. So the total of 12 then for Madison Seedhouse. And for Chico de la Mosa. Lupercu comes forward now. This is Vital Horse Unamola Gula that is the ride for Switzerland. Fresh off the back of a couple of wins at Villamora and Gula Minore before that. Should be bringing a bit of confidence into the arena here at Pilbergen then. Again, it's another combination, in fact, that jumped well yesterday, clear in the team competitions. Lou having a good weekend as well with a minor placing in the 125 with one of the other horses in the string. Did that one go? Yes, it did, I'm afraid. The final fence falls, 74-1-2, and 4 will be the score there. Just wait for the graphic to catch up. 4 for jumping with Lupuk and with Vital Horse Unamola Gula. What a real shame, it's just that final fence. Not quite sure what happened there. They just got a little bit close on that front rail. Pay the price, I'm afraid. We turn our attention now to Poland and Roxana Nawoka, who comes forward with this one. Penny Lane is the partner. A 9-year-old Hanoverian mare by Perroju with provider lines as well. Combination that found themselves just missing out on a podium finish at Hagen, 5th on that occasion, but a tough competition and a quick clear round jumped in the jump off on that one. In fact, they can be very quick against the clock when they want to be, but they've got to get there first. They've got to qualify for that jump off, and 4 of them have done so far. This could well be number 5, a capable combination. Just one final fence to negotiate, well inside the time. We said they're quick against the clock, not that it matters in round number 1, but maybe a signal of things to come in round 2 as Poland find their way into the jump-off. Clear round number 5 comes from Katarina Ruzikova. In fact, Roxana Naroka this set now, Katarina. Penny Lane safely through, and we go to the Czech Republic. Katarina Ruzikova and Coffee G, in fact, the next away. This is an 8-year-old gelding by Cormint with Quebec lines. A string of top 5 finishes in Zudovice back in the early part of the summer. And again, a very forward-moving and quick combination when they need to be against the clock. If they find their way into the jump-off, they'll certainly be one to watch. Five of them through so far, one for Sweden, one for Italy, one for the Netherlands, one for Great Britain, and now Poland in the mix. But the horse takes a disliking to the water tray, and the rider just a passenger at that stage, I'm afraid. They'll get back on track. And they clear it at the second attempt, so well recovered. But they do pick up another 8 there with both parts of the combination, that 11A and B that fall. Just very sadly not to be today. 15 as a final score. Jumping and time add together there for Katarina and for Coffee G. Carl Hugo Westergren next to 8 for Sweden here with this one. They jumped clear and took a 10th place finish yesterday. It is Call Girl 5. 12 years of age now, this Cassini sired mare. Kidam de Revel lines as well. One rider for Sweden safely through in Arvidsson, already into the jump-off. Now the turn of Carl Hugo Westergren then. Again, the horse there you see just looking down into that water, a little bit unsure, but a little bit of reassurance from the jockey on board, and they make it work. One fence from home. Will we find ourselves with another one through to the jump-off? Yes, we will. 72-16, and clear round number 6, in fact, comes from Sweden's Carl Hugo Westergren and Call Girl 5, who are safely through, and it's building into some jump-off. A little shy of the halfway stage, and Germany's Fabio Thelen, who comes forward now. This is Didi the 5th. Again, 12 years of age, a stallion by Talok out of a Darko sired mare. 3rd place in a very quick accumulator at Rousseau. We know they can be quick against the clock. They've proved that on many occasions. Also, good big jumping horse as well. 3rd in the Nations Cup teams of Hagen. 5th in the Grand Prix at that very same show as well. Well, not quite sure what happened there. The horse and rider saw something different from that side. his 4 faults, and now the recovery starts. Horse maybe just caught out by the shadows, the longer shadows in the late afternoon sun. But it is 4 as a result either way, with Fabio and with Didi the 5th. You can see the long shadow there just behind the fence. Maybe that did just throw the eye of the horse. It wasn't quite sure what it was jumping. All part of the education, though, as we turn our attention to the Czech Republic once again. Rosalie Petrova, who comes forward now. This the rider who took 2nd in the Grand Prix of San Marin. A good time at Ulamuk as well. Sena 1 is the ride, an experienced mare. This is 18 years of age now, by Autonom with Libertas lines. Knows the job. In fact, a change of ride from the scheduled. It's Cupcake Girl Van Hette Lindenhof Z that comes forward instead. Another one in the string. Rider took a minor placing, in fact, in yesterday's competition, just outside the top 10 with a nice clear. Well, horse says, no, I'm afraid on that one. A little bit of a miscommunication between horse and rider, so we stop the clock. It's 4 faults for the refusal. There's also 6 seconds to add with the interrupted time. What will it do the second time? It says no again, I'm afraid. Well sat times 2, but I'm afraid it is the end of the road. The second disobedience on track brings about elimination with Rosalie Petrova and with Cupcake Girl.
De kaartspeldenavond dit weekend hier op Pelberg Equestrian Center. Wilt u mooie foto's van de deelnemers bekijken? Loop dan even naar de stand van de Sportbond.
This the combination then that took the top spot in a couple of Grand Prix across the course of the summertime. Zudovic and Golomanore, in fact, for Germany. Amy Helfrich joins us. Leon 596 is the partner on track. This 14-year-old stallion. Big striding horse and definitely keen to get the job done. Will they give us another clear to add to the list here? One fence from home, up and over. Yeah, nice and easy there for that combination. It's another clear to add to the list, and up to 7 we go. Taking the win in Zudovic and in Gola. Can they take the win here at Pilbergen as well? Their 3rd Grand Prix victory of the season on the cards potentially. We'll have to wait and see. But it is Germany now through to the jump-off to join the two Swedish riders, Poland, Great Britain, the Netherlands and Italy, in fact, in that jump-off. Now to Norway and to Marie Lensbraten Valstad. Clark's Ferro is the ride here. 16 years of age now, the gelding, but well placed in the team competitions of Ubaya. Well, what a shame. It was going so well until the come out of that double with 4 there, the second part that falls. Again, didn't seem like the horse barely touched the fence, but it is the way it is nowadays. The pole's so light. It's good for the horses and, of course, for the safety of the sport. Doesn't always make the riders the happiest, though. Little mistakes can cost a lot. And it is 8 as a final score then, with Marie and with Clark's Ferro. A new ride for Ruby Ward now. Giddy Up comes forward as the partner, 10 years of age by Otangelo. They had a strong campaign at Bolesworth, both at the Summer Show and indeed the Young Horse Championships as well. But just around 7 months together as a partnership for Ruby Ward and for Giddy Up here. Very, very close to the time allowed. Perfectly timed from Ruby Ward, and the new pairing show great form here at Peelbergen. It's another clear to add to the list, and that takes us up to 8 then. Great Britain's Ruby Ward safely through to the jump-off, and it's job done for now. A few left to go before we take a short break for arena maintenance, and it is to the Netherlands once again, Jip Grootgoed, who comes forward with this one. The rider who took 8th place in the Grand Prix of Vipperverf. The first season, in fact, as a pairing with this one. It is Delphina that comes forward as the ride. New one to add to the string then with this 13-year-old mare by Dolph van den Bishop with Elmshorn lines as well. Well, they just struggle to rebalance there. You see so many now where the line across the middle, rather than being the traditional straight across the diagonal, it's a slight curve across and an S-bend, and it just challenges that balance of horse and rider to go from one side to the other with the change of leg through the middle. And we just had a little problem there with balance, and it brings down the rail on the final fence in the line. 4 for jumping, 71.99 there with Jip and with Delphina. fact, 76-46, it's for jumping. It's also 1 for time, the corrected result. 2 left to go before we take a short break for arena maintenance, and it is the Hungarian contingent now. Esther Tavasi who comes forward here with Audrey Pins as the ride. 10th in the Grand Prix of Bablona, 6th in San Marin as well, with this 16-year-old mare by Florestano. Acord lines as well. Final fence goes as well then, so an early rail, and the last makes it 8 there for Hungary's Esther Travasi and for Audrey Pins. Now to Ireland as the last away before the break, and it is Alice Maloney. Cosima is the ride here, a 9-year-old mare by Carrel. Again, they've had some success on the national levels, but this their first international outing, and the first rail falls, in fact, for this combination. Well, what a shame, just that first fence between Alice and the jump-off, I'm afraid, and 4 is the score with Cosima in an otherwise faultless round. What a real shame there. As we head forward to the break for arena maintenance, we have 8 clears at this stage and another 28 to come after the break. We'll be back underway at a little before 20 to the hour. And don't go away, stay with us on Clip My Horse TV for the remaining first round of this Children on Horses Grand Prix. And of course, a strong jump off when we get there. We'll be right back in around 6 or 7 minutes' time.
Welcome can use the FO. I repeat, the first release was as of Saturday the week before 6 o'clock. Tonight there will be a disco with a DJ. It's going to take today in the indoor next to the Secretary office. At this moment we have 8 riders in de Japan. De allereerst in de bagage van de sportbond de Ponies. De Grand Prix van de Children in de leeftijd van 12 tot en 14 jaar. Tractor gaat de piste zo dadelijk uit. De eerste zal weer binnenkomen.
So arena maintenance complete, and we are set and ready to get back underway here with the second half of the opening round of our Children on Horses Grand Prix. It is to France and to Timothy Goffinet that comes forward as the first after the break. Willoughby de Givre is the ride. 11 years of age, in fact 12 now, by winning Mood van den Arenberg with Demiro B lines. Having a strong season so far with good placings at Cabourg and at Hagen, indeed at Villamora as well, but what can they do here at Peelbergen? Remember, we have 8 clears so far heading forward to that jump off, 28 left to come forward here in round number 1. Again, Lynn Arvidsson, Matilda Frigo, Dan Adams, Nora van Bulo, Roxana Naroka, Carl Hugo Westergren, Amy Helfrich, and Ruby Ward, in fact, all safely through. Again, 76 seconds the time allowed. We've seen a few fall foul of it so far. This one's going to pick up a rail at fence 6 as well, though. Maybe a little touch steady in the early phases of the round as well. Well, it's quick enough. It's going to be inside that time, in fact, by a fraction or two, 75.19. But it is the score of 4 that gets us back underway for Timothy Goffinet and for Willoughby de Givre. To Spain we go, and to Celia Cobo-Terran, in fact, here. This is Chantre that comes forward as the ride, a 17-year-old stallion. So experienced horse, in fact, next on track. Combination took 2nd place in a winning round competition of Gijon. They were also 3rd in the Grand Prix of Cabourg in the early part of the year. Of course, looking here to join that jump-off lineup. Could be a quick combination when we get there if they qualify. Nicely done down the line from 5 to 6. A couple have had problems, especially with the way the sun's coming in now and throwing an interesting set of shadows across the sand here. Horse takes a little look down at the water, but no problems. not to be at the plank, though. Again, we think the shadows there just coming into play, throwing the horse's eyes as they come down the arena, and that little plank doesn't take much just to take it down. (73.24) the time, but it is 4 as the score for Spain's Celia Cobo-Terán and for Chantre, as we lose them here in round number 1 of the Children on Horses Grand Prix, and continue on down the list to the Netherlands and to Yveske Priem. Comes forward with Esprit de Pomme by Berlin with Jus de Pomme lines as well. This one, in fact, placed twice already this week as a rider. And the top spot in the teams of Lamprechtshausen as well. Again, the sun just dipping behind some clouds, and of course that makes that line just that little bit easier. Less distractions for the horses and the riders coming into this. Going nicely so far. Will we see another one for the Netherlands through to our jump off? Yes, we shall. 73.24, and that gives us clear round number 9 from the Dutch rider Yveske Priem and Esprit de Pomme safely through. Patrick Skrizinski now, and Gaverdi comes forward as the line. This one by Verdi, as the name suggests, with Abke lines as well. Third place in the Grand Prix of Zuidovicz, and followed that up with a top 10 finish in Ulsa as well. But again, just not to be here today. Tips that rail coming into the combination. Just lacking a little bit of impulsion there. Last one goes also, and it's a tick and a tock over the time. Comes home on 8 for jumping. Will be 1 for time as well. 9 is the score for Patrick and for Gaverdi. Onwards we go, and it is to the Czech Republic's Klara Lakavova, who comes forward now. This is Skip 59, the next to compete. An 11-year-old gelding by Stolzenberg with Nimroy B lines. Carlo we saw, in fact, just yesterday in the 1m 30s. Jumped the clear for the team competition. Also a minor placing with the one of the other horses in the string in the small tour this morning. Well placed earlier on, but it's not going to be today, I'm afraid. The parting of ways there, both up on the feet and walking away. Sincerely hope both rider and horse are unharmed, but it is their first season internationally, at least as a pairing. And with the promising clear yesterday, definitely one to watch for the future, but it doesn't always go your way in sport. And a lesson learned there for Clara.
Thank you very much. With the ball for the competitor for the Czech Republic, eliminated Clara Lavachkova. Door met de Spaanse deelnemer Carlos Garcia Sanchez op Aquila de duel.
So 9 clears with Lynn Arvidsson, Mathilde Frigo, Dan Adams, Nora von Bulau, Roxana Naroka, Carlo Hugo Westergren, Amy Hilfrich, Ruby Ward and Yvka Briem all safely through to that jump off, and 23 left to come forward here in round number 1. We'll turn our attention to Spain now, and Carlos Garcia Sanchez comes forward. Aquela de Nanutuel, in fact, is the ride. An 11-year-old mare by Allegretto with Calypso de Hibris lines. Carlos, part of the team that placed second in the Nations Cup competitions of Gula Minore, third in Cabourg as well. But an early rail here, fence 2, the black and gold upright that falls. Well, 3 rails fall along the way. It is 12 there with Spain's Carlos Garcia Sanchez, 12 for jumping with Aquela de Nantuel. Sweden already have 2 rides safely through to the jump off, potentially 3 here with this one. It's a new ride for Mathilda Hansen. She jumped into top spot in the Grand Prix of San Marin with one of the other horses in the string. But this time it is with the new ride, Rubio Monaco Electric, in fact. 13 years of age now, this mare by Yukato with Auckland lines. Experienced horse, experienced rider. Got to be said, looks a little out of place on a big horse as such a small jockey, but they do such a fantastic job together. Working really nicely together with just a couple of fences to go. Could this bring us clear round number 10, just one from home? Oh, what a real shame. No, no, no. It's the front rail of that final fence that falls, and 4 is the score for Sweden's Mathilda Hansen with Rubio Monaco Electric, but so early on in their career as a pairing, definitely one to watch for the future. To the Czech Republic once again, and Albert Pisak comes forward now. This is Conada 2, a 10-year-old mare by Connor with Lacino lines as well. Couple of early problems on track for this pairing. Again, another talented jockey on his day. Albert, in fact, third here at Peelbergen just a few weeks ago. And before that, on good form in Zudovic as well. 5th place on that occasion. Just not having the best day at the office here today. 3 rails that fall so far and a couple left to go. So final fence goes also, total of 16 there. 16 the final score with Canada. It is onwards we go to Italy once again, and Chiara Mandolisi who comes forward here. Lausanne van der Middelstedt is the ride, a 10-year-old mare by Flamenco de Semeli. 2nd place finish in the Grand Prix of Gola Minore over the course of the summertime. Combination just having one of the fences checked by the arena team, in fact, before they get underway. Already one of the Italian riders safely through to the jump-off for this Children on Horses Grand Prix, with Matilda Frigo and First Lady H through as the 2nd clear. 9 of them in total so far, but 20 left to go here in round number 1. It's going to be a real competitive and fierce jump-off when we get there, and we'll take a look at the track as and when the time permits. Big striding horse there, came down on 6 to the double. Rattles a pole on the way in, but leaves it standing, which is all that matters. It's going to be a touch over time, I think it is. It's clear for jumping, but I'm afraid it's 1 for time with that Chiara Mandolesi, and with Lausanne van der Middelstedt, 1 for time. Got to be so frustrating when that happens. You do as much as you can right, but a little half stride here and there is all the difference it takes, and it's 1 for time to preclude them from our jump off. We stay with the 9 and we look to our next. This is for Belgium, and it is Loris Dubuisson who comes forward now. Minor placing yesterday with a clear in the 1m25, but a string of good performances across the course of their career together for this pairing. It is Gloria de Profendro. Second in the Nations Cup competitions at Centaur Park in the early part of the year, and indeed a strong season at Virden as well across the course of the summertime. And all good here at Peelbergen as well. It's clear all the way. It's 70.33 on the clock, and that takes us up to 10 as Belgium find their way into the jump-off. In fact, the first of the Belgian riders that are safely through there. We do stay with the Belgian riders, though, and it is to the turn of Nikita van der Milchen that comes forward now. This rider placed 4th yesterday. Some good shows in Weerden, Knokke and Bonheiden, to name a few. A string of top 5 finishes at the 130 level. Impresario van der Heffink is the partner on track. 13 years of age now, this gelding by Debo, with Cartier van der Heffink lines, as the name would suggest. Well, a rail comes down there. That's fence number 9. Again, that little S-bend across the middle, proving a tricky balancing act. Maybe a little touch too steady as well. 76 seconds the time allowed. Could be arriving just a fraction over that. Yes, no, we're not. We're inside by the smallest of margins, and 4 is the score. 4 jumping with Nikita and with Impresario van der Heffink for Belgium. 17 left to go here, 10 clears so far. And this is the turn of Italy's Vittoria Calabro, in fact, and Abete comes forward as the ride. 14 years of age now, this stallion. Top 10 finishes in Gola Minore and in Lamprechtshausen. In fact, 5th in the Nations Cup classes of San Marin as well. Talented rider, talented horse. A lot of potential between them. What can they do here for the Children on Horses Grand Prix? Going well so far. A couple of fences from home. Might need to pick up the pace a little bit. 76 seconds is ticking away quickly. It's clear for jumping. No, it's not. The final fence falls. In fact, it's 4 for jumping. And it is 1 for time. Total of 5 then, 76.09. Just ticks over the time allowed, and 5 is the score then for Vittoria. To the Netherlands we go once again. Already one of the Dutch riders safely through to the jump-off. Can we make it 2 with this combination? It is Britt Shaper that comes forward. In the Air is the partner on track. 8 years of age now, this mare. Air Jordan and Indoctro lines. They were 7th in the 125 yesterday for the Children on Horses, but this is a relatively new ride. The horse has been successful in Grand Prix up to the 2-star level. And the rider's nobody's fool either. What can they do as a pairing here for the Children on Horses Grand Prix at Pilbergen? It's clear for jumping. It's inside the time, and in fact that takes us up to 11 with another one of the Dutch riders safely through. Britta Schaeper safely through within the air, and up to 11 clears we go. Nelsoka, who comes forward as the next for Poland. Clear over the first two, in fact, with this one. This is Osadkowski Cetino, a 12-year-old stallion by Zuchtov Zelikau with good performances at the Grand Prix level. Again, it's another new pairing. Horse and rider both accomplished up to the Grand Prix level in the children on horses and senior international stakes for the horses as well. But not taking a liking to the water here today, I'm afraid. And it says no a second time, so the end of the road, I'm afraid, for Nel and for Osadkowski Cetino. They will be leaving us here in round number 1 of the Children on Horses Grand Prix. And we look to our final 14, in fact, coming forward here in round 1. 2 Dutch riders safely through to the jump-off. Can we make it up to 3 with Maud Agderberg, in fact, comes forward as the next. This Elube, 12 years of age by Zelot VDL. Balube de Roue bloodlines as well. Rider has taken victory both here at Pielbergen and indeed at Hagen and Exlu as well. A strong summer campaign just being rounded out, hopefully, by a good performance here in the Children on Horses Grand Prix. So again, a couple of fences from home and all going well. We could add another one to the jump-off tally here. Up and over the last, they're inside the time, and up to 12 we go. Good round for Maud and for Elube. Maud Agderberg and Elube safely through as clear round at number 13. Again, Poland already have one through to the jump-off in the form of Roxana Naroka. Now to Julia Pita, who comes forward with this one. Again, for Poland, it's Narcotic Tashor is the ride. An 8-year-old mare by Darko with Nabab de Rev lines. Third place in the Nations Cup teams of San Marino over the course of the summertime. But just getting a little bit long and flat through the Stahl-Hendricks combination there, and takes out of the rail on the C element. And the problem there as well, so a sliding stop and brings that fence 11 down as well. Again, 4 to add and the 6-second penalty with the interrupted time. So a dozen or so left to go here in round number 1. The jump off track when we get there will start over a new fence at 15. In fact, that'll be 6 reversed, 2, 4AB, 16, which is a new fence, 10, 11A, and 13 is that jump off track, but still a dozen strong combinations still to come forward in round number 1. And we'll finish up with that 12 jumping. A little bit of time as well there for the combination of Julia Pieta and Narcotic Tashor.
Including exam family exam 77 19, our following Julia Pieta and Narcotic Tashor.
Now to Denmark then, and Julie Stenman Christensen, who will come forward as the next. This is Berkeley's Ballerina as the ride. Again, another pairing just starting out their career together internationally. They've had a string of top 5 finishes across the course of the summertime, but it is, again, early days in their career. They're just finding each other's rhythms. Well, really nicely flowing down there. It's a real shame the plank does take a tumble and 4 is added to the tally. Just a little misjudgment from the horse and rider there. Final fence goes also, so 2 rails preclude them from our jump off, but again, very early in their career together. They're already producing some fantastic results and a combination to watch as they evolve together throughout their campaign. To the Dutch combinations, we turn our attention once again, and Jonny van Zandvoort, who comes forward now. Esprit is the ride, a 12-year-old mare by Sir Scandic. Placed 5th in Valkenswaard, in fact, and multiple winners here at Peelbergen over the course of the last couple of seasons, in fact. You can see there just doing her utmost to rebalance the horse after that water. Again, the S-bend across the middle of the arena, just that slight change in weight distribution, the slight change in balance. And with it being such a subtle change, it sometimes goes unnoticed and leads to faults, but the rider did well to correct there. Leaves all the fences standing, but she's looking at the clock. She knows what she's done. It's half a stride here and there, and 1 for time, I'm afraid, for Jonny van Zandvoort and Esprit. Onwards to the ride of Chloe Hughes-Kennedy now for Ireland. This rider took 3rd place in the Nations Cup teams of Hagen, also 6th in the Grand Prix. Had a good time over in the States over the winter time as well, with a couple of wins at the Wellington Equestrian Festival. It is Zwiedam, the ride that partners her on track at this stage. Stallion that is 17 years of age with Guidam and Indoctro lines, so classic breeding lines in this one. So with a dozen clears safely through, possibly more to come. It'll be a serious battle for the win in the timed round against the clock a little later on this evening. We could in fact add our 13th combination, one fence from home. But I'm afraid it's the final fence that stands in the way, and it is 4 for jumping there with Ireland's Chloe Hughes-Kennedy, and still no Irish riders into the jump-off at this stage. And in fact, that the last of the Irish efforts here this evening, so it's not going to be an Irish win in the Children on Horses Grand Prix. It could well be a Dutch win, though, for the home team. Sanna Vermeulen comes forward now, looking to add to the jump-off tally with this one. They were third in Valkenswaard just a few weeks ago. It's Icarus LH as the partner. 8 years of age, a gelding by Ed Dulon with Voltaire lines. It's the plank that falls as well. Again, we've talked about that line. We've talked about the sunshine as well. And again, that's what's proven the problem there for this combination. Seems to be a real mix of weather all 4 seasons coming through in the Netherlands here this weekend. So finishes on a score of 8 there for Sanna, 8 for jumping, just inside the time by a second. 8 there with Icarus LH, and 8 left to go. To Germany now. Germany's Naomi Himmelich, who comes forward as the next combination that were atop of the podium just yesterday, in fact, and second in the accumulator at Wiener Neustadt. So a quick combination and a big jumping horse when it needs to be. On their best days, they can produce some top quality results. What can they do here today? Chiara 366 is the name of this mare. Just 7 years of age, in fact the youngest horse on the track this afternoon. It is by Canstaco with coupon lines. Well, again, it is just the 4 that goes between Naomi and a jump-off ride. It is 4 for jumping with Chiara 366. A little mistake in the early part of the course, and proves costly, I'm afraid. We turn our attention with that to the final 7 then. To Spain we go, and Ines Bermudez Zaragoza comes forward with the ride Winnie the Pooh III Z. Combination that was second in Gola Menor over the course of the summertime. This by winning mood with leader Darman on the dam side. Riding here for Helena Monfils. It is Ines Bermudez Zaragoza then, the next on track. Could we see a Spanish rider through to the jump off here this afternoon? Again, not the most obvious on the camera, but that slight curve there in the line from 5 to 6, a slight left-hand bend, and again, just makes the horses, makes the riders think about where they are on track, where the balance is, where that center of gravity is. But I'm afraid it is not going to happen today. The second disobedience on track at the water with Winnie the Pooh and with Ines Bermudez Zaragoza. Already one through to the jump off for Italy. They'll be looking to double their odds of having the Italian anthem across the ground here at Pilbergen. It is Italy's Giovanni Vincoli that comes forward as the next. A top 10 finish in Colle Minore. In fact, third place as a team there as well. It's Kitana VDV. 14 years of age now, this mare by Quasimodo with Julio lines. Strong performers both as part of a team and individually as well. Well, again, just getting a little long and flat into that double. Again, going straight into the sunshine as well. Not easy conditions for these horses in the late evening sun. So it is the four-fault round there, one rail that falls for the combination of Giovanni Vincoli and Kitana VDV. Down to the final 5 then, and to Belgium's Este Bormer that comes forward as the next to contest. History van Ameldonk Z, in fact, is here as the 51st starter. Nine years of age now, this mare by Ameldonk BV8. Of course, part of the winning Nations Cup team of Cabourg in the early part of the summer. They also took top spot in the Grand Prix of Lierre. They'll be looking to add the Children on Horses Grand Prix to the CV as well, I'm sure. Could we add another one to that jump-off list here? One fence from home for Este Bormer. No, 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 no. The final fence falls, and 4 is the score there. They sneak inside the time, 73-31, but 4 is that score.
Alicia Svensson from Sweden will be the next starter, starting Luxor, born in 2012, 9 years old, 5 weeks set and gold medal. For Sweden, Alicia Svensson.
To Sweden now, 2 Swedish riders safely through to the jump off. Can we make it 3 with this combination? Alicia Svensson and Luxor, Bilux Z with Contendro lines. And we saw them last in San Marin, in fact, where they picked up 4th place in the Grand Prix for their efforts there. Again, another combination that could well be atop the podium here this evening. Negotiating the tricky track fairly well. I'm afraid to say it looks like it's going to be a little tick and a tock over the time. Yes, it is. It's clear for jumping, but it's not quite quick enough, I'm afraid. It is 1 for time there with Alicia Svensson, and with Luxor clear for jumping, 1 for time. 3 left to go, and to the turn of Dan Eschman now for France. This is Valvida Frivole, in fact, that comes forward as the ride. This is by Castronom Z Duhis out of a 11 de Miel side mare. 8th in the Grand Prix of Cabourg and 2 placings so far this week. So well on form here at Pilbergen. Yet to see a French rider make their way through to the jump off either. And we shan't do with this one as the rail comes down coming out of that combination. Again, just looks like the riders just battling for control a little bit. Horses very keen. It's go, go, go all the way, but it is a partnership at the end of the day. It's got to be about a little bit of shared responsibility. And the final fence goes as well, 4 for jumping, 8 for jumping, in fact, with Dan and with Valdiva Frivole. It is now Sepp Wouters that comes forward as the penultimate rider on track. This another one for Belgium, a relatively new ride that Sepp takes over the ride from Bart Lips, the Dutch rider. It is Elon von Beek Z, in fact, a 8-year-old stallion by El Salvador with Toulon lines. Already one of the Belgian riders safely through, Loris de Buisson, in fact. Looking promising so far. Nope. into that double, and they're just again a little bit too close to the fence. They chip in that little extra stride, and it is 4 as the score. It's going to be over the time as well, I'm afraid. 5, in fact, there with Sepp Wouters and Elon van Beek. So we stay with those 13 clears. And there will be one final ride, just some last-minute titivations being made in the sidelines. Germany's Tony Stormans will be the last away, but in fact 12 clears at this stage.
Op dit moment 12 deelnemers in de barrage zal maar weer weldwaardes clear.
So here we go then, the final rider joins us. Just correcting a little tack issue on the outside of the arena. This is Tony Stormans now with Floris van der Vosjevel that comes forward as they ride. 11 years of age now, this gelding by Kearley Elvis with Calvados lines as well. The winners in the 125s at Saint-Tropez, in fact part of the team that took 3rd in the Nations Cup team events of Hagen as well. For Germany, it's Tony Stormans. Couple of rails that fall in the combination there. Pretty expensive line for this combination, so it will be those 12 riders that we take forward to our jump off, and of course they come forward in the order in which they jumped in the first round. Final fence goes also, and bang on the time, perfectly timed to be fair, but it is 12 for jumping with Germany's Tony Stormans. So it will be to our jump off then, and 12 combinations come forward to battle it out across Frank Rothenberger's jump off track here for the Children on Horses Grand Prix. Lynn Arvidsson, Matilda Frigo, Dan Adams, Nora von Bulau, Roxana Roca, Carl Hugo Vestergren, Amy Helfrich, Ruby Ward, Yves Capriem, Loris de Buisson, Britt Shaper, or Maud Agterberg. In fact, the 12 coming forward, and that jump-off action coming your way here on Clip My Horse TV in just a few moments' time. Don't go away.
Children Grand Prix, the jump-off will start at fence number 15. Next to go is fence number 2. Middle of the arena. Then we have the double combination of A and of B. This now have next double combination. Further on we go to fence number 16. Then we observe this hour number 10. We are ready for the jump off barrages for the FEI Children Grand Prix. 12 drivers in the jump off.
So the final preparations made and the stage set for our jump off. It is the CSIO Children on Horses Grand Prix here at the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Finals for 2021 at the Pielbergen Equestrian Centre. Frank Rothenberger and his team set the track. 15, 2, 4AB, 16, 10, 11A and 13 is the course along the way, and 12 capable combinations come forward to battle it out from round one. We'll take a little time check along the way at the halfway stage just after the new fence at fence 16, but the very, very best of luck to all combinations coming forward. We start with Sweden's Lynn Arvidsson. Glenn Morangi comes forward as the ride and the job of pathfinder in this jump off for the Children on Horses Grand Prix. Never easy going first in competitions like this one. But again, some experienced young jockeys coming forward. Looking for an early clear to put the real pressure on the rest of the field. So that is the new fence at 15 reversed, which was 6 reversed in fact. Number 2, then 4A and B through that combination. This the new fence here, so lands in around 21 seconds clear so far. Down there on 6. Up and over the last as well, so 38.91. She's done all she can. She has really put the pressure on the rest of the field with a clear round there. And not hanging about either. 38.91 is the target time to beat, set by Lynn Arvidsson and Glenn Morangi. So they landed at the halfway stage after fence 16 in around 21 seconds. So that's our little time check along the way, and we'll keep an eye on that as this jump off evolves. Now we go to Matilda for Italy. Matilda Frigo, First Lady H, is the next to battle it out here. But it is that problem at the first. Fence 6 in the first round's been reversed, as you can see, and causes that little problem. Something the horse doesn't quite like about it, and 4 for the refusal at the very first fence in this jump-off. Again, she recovered quickly and came back to the fence. It could still see them in a placing, but they've got to really motor on now. Lands in 34. Time allowed in this jump off of 55 seconds. We should sneak inside that. In fact, we do, and it is just the 4, a shake of the head, the early problems. And well recovered, though, for Italy's Matilda Frigo with First Lady. So Sweden take the early lead with the clear, and Dan Adams comes forward now for the Netherlands. This is Jeanette van der Kempenhoven. Again, capable combinations against the clock. We've seen them take wins at Grand Prix all over Europe. Gonna have to be quick to challenge in this one. Leading time 38.91 in this jump off. Not unbeatable by any means, but you've got to keep moving forward. Again, coming up to our little time check here. There's time to find in that loop back. They land in 23, but the rail comes down. Just not quite managing to balance the horse as they came round that looping turn from 4B back to the new fence at 16, and 4 as a result there. 41.12 the time, of course, steadied up with the rail down, and 4 is the score with Dan Adams and Jeanette van der Kempenhoven. So 38.91 leads the way, and one of the British competitors now, this is Nora von Bülow. Lucky Lisa on flying form across the course of the summertime. They'll want to add this title to the CV, believe you me. They've got to be quick to do that. 38.91 to beat. Nora von Bülow, Great Britain. Oh, stands off that a little bit. In fact, I think it was her foot that contacted the wing, but it is still clear. And lands bang on 21 seconds as well. So they're neck and neck at this stage. Tight and tidy around the island there, though. Could make the difference. Lands here in 31. What's the time? 37.96. Have they done it? Yes, they have. Nora von Bülow jumps the clear and into the lead here for the Children on Horses Grand Prix. Makes up a little bit of time in the second half of this jump-off course. In fact, a full second almost clear at the top end of the timesheets for Nora von Bülow, and that is the new challenge set. Catch me if you can, says Nora, with Lucky Lisa. So Great Britain lead the way. Sweden sit in second. Now to Poland's turn. This is Roxana Naroko who comes forward as the next to contest. Penny Lane is the ride. Again, they've got to land in around 21 seconds, but as we saw there with Nora, there's time to find in the second half of the course. An economical line in that last part of the track can really give you the advantage. Meets the combination really, really nicely there, but I'm afraid it just doesn't quite get it right on the way out. And again, look at the clock. They land in 20, so they were up on the clock, but I'm afraid there's a fence down on the ground. Stops the clock, 37.87. The time was more than good enough for the lead, but I'm afraid the score is not. It is 1 rail down, and 4 there for Poland, Roxana Naroka. Now, the important thing here is we have just seen the time is under threat. It can be beaten. Roxana has just shown us how to do that, but we've got to do it with the clear. To Carl now, Carl Hugo Westergren. This is for Sweden here with Call Girl 5. Can Sweden climb back to the top of the timesheets here in this Children on Horses jump-off? Just having a quick look round, making sure the horse is listening. Again, these riders between 12 and 14 years of age, but so much experience with the Children on Horses riders. Some real professionalism on display as well. So away we go then. Call Girl 5, Carl Hugo Vestergren. Not setting the world alight in the early stage here, but meets the combination nicely, but again, pays that price on the way out, just a little bit flat. Lands again in 21 seconds or thereabouts. And down that line on 6 again, the same as the previous 2. Last fence goes also, so a little bit out of shape in this jump-off round. Again, the shadows getting long and flat, the sun in your eyes as well. It's not easy conditions by any means, but a total of 12 there with Carl Hugo Vestergren and Call Girl 5. Great Britain lead, Sweden second, Poland sit in third, with the home team for the Netherlands in fourth at this stage. 2 double clears atop the timesheet, and Germany's Amy Helfrich comes forward as the next. Leon 596 is her partner on track. Moving nicely forward and tidy lines. Big stride into that double vertical, oxo and vertical. Little touch off the pace, lands in around 22, but there's time to find in the second half. They just keep moving forward. 4, 5, 6 again down there. It's not going to quite be quick enough here, I don't think. But it's not going to be far away either. 37.96 is the leading time. 39.96 with the clear there for Amy. And that goes into third place with Leon 5.96. It is the steadiest of the clears, but a clear round will see good money here this afternoon for the Children on Horses Grand Prix. And with 5 left to go, it's still Great Britain that lead. Ruby Ward now, another of the British contingent here. And Giddy Up is the ride, and that's what they're going to have to do to challenge the time in this one. 37.96 is the time for Nora von Bulau and Lucky Lisa, who lead the way. We know the time can be beaten. We've seen it done, but not with a clear. Not a bad turn back to 16, lands in around 22.5, but taking the wider line there around the island, that's going to cost them. Down there on 6, as with the previous rides. Final fence goes there, I'm afraid. Went for the clear, 39.58, but I'm afraid the last one goes, and 4 is the score there for Ruby Ward. Where does that see them into 5th place, in fact, at this stage in the competition for the Children on Horses Grand Prix. If Priem is the next one for the home team for the Netherlands then. Esprit de Pomme. Will the home team lift the trophy here for the Children on Horses Grand Prix? Again, 37.96 is the target time, with the check at the halfway stage at 21 seconds after fence number 16. A little bit of hesitation into the first fence, but let's see if they settle in nicely. Horse just seems to be a little distracted, looking at what's going on around the arena. Some big crowds building up. Lands nicely, though, in 22, meeting fence 16 on the angle. Looking pretty decent so far. What's the time going to be? 39.01 with the clear there. That is into third for the Netherlands. Yves Priem and Esprit de Pomme. Clear 39.01. So it is 3 left to go, and Nora von Bulau still leads the way here. Lynn Arvidsson second. Yves Priem now sits in third, with Amy Helfrich in 4th place for Germany. We turn our attention to the Belgian riders, and it is to Loris de Buisson as the next. This is Gloria de Pofrondre. Again, a good forward-moving horse in the first round, but what can they do against the clock here in the jump-off? This is good. 21 or thereabouts. Wasting a little bit of time there, though. Willing the horse down the line, just giving it everything he's got. Is it going to get there? 37.96 to beat. It's not quick enough for the top spot, but again, it's another clear. And in fact, that will secure fourth place for Belgium at this stage with just 2 left to go. Loris de Buisson and Gloria find themselves in fourth. Two left to go, and both of them for the Netherlands. Can the home team take a victory here in this Children on Horses Grand Prix? It is Great Britain that lead, but it is the Netherlands, in fact, as the final 2 rides. Brit Shaper now in the air is the ride. This is nice and tidy. In fact, lands a little bit up on the clock, maybe half a second or so. It just depends on how they treat these last couple of lines. Nice and smooth down there and round the corner. 37.96 to beat. It's not quite quick enough. 38.17. I thought she just about had it, but I'm afraid it's not quite quick enough for the top spot. Into second goes the Netherlands' Brit Shaper, and in the air. On to the final ride then. Has Nora van Bulau done enough, or is the win going home with Maud Agdeberg and Elu Bay that comes forward as the last to challenge? 37.96 still leads and has done for a while. It's under threat though. Will it be Great Britain, or will it be the Netherlands who take the top spot here this evening? Meets the fences nicely. It's a little bit off the pace. It's going for a clear round. The clear round will secure a pretty decent placing here in the Children on Horses Grand Prix. In fact, it's safe to say the win's in the hands of Nora, but where will our final rider end up? It is clear, 42.69 in fact. And 7th place is the finishing position for Maud Agdeberg and Elu Bay, but it is Great Britain's Nora van Bulau who takes the win in style here for the Children on Horses Grand Prix. The Netherlands finds themselves in second with Brit Shaper in the air. Third goes to Sweden with Lynn Arvidsson and Glenn Morangi. Yvke Priem for the Netherlands takes fourth with Esprit de Pomme. Loris de Buisson takes fifth for Belgium with Gloria van der Brondefro, and sixth goes to Amy Helfrich for Germany with Leon 5.96. That does it for the jumping action here at Peelbergen for our Friday evening. But don't forget the team competitions that get underway, the team finals tomorrow and Sunday. The prize giving for our Children on Horses Grand Prix coming your way in just a few moments' time. But another 2 fantastic days of jumping to come here for the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Finals for 2021 at Peelbergen Equestrian Centre, and all live on Clip My Horse at TV. We'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow, but do stay with us for the prize giving.
here at Kronenberg Equestrian Center. Wonderful sport. A wonderful winner in the Children Grand Prix. Nora van Below for Great Britain and Lucky Liza. The lovely Vera in 37.96.
Lucky langzaam in de winnaars Almer, waar Heartbeat en Luc Zet. Zo dadelijk de huldiging. Tomorrow, more exciting sport at the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Final 2021 Ponies Equestrian Center. Zijn afwachting van de 6 hoofdrolspelers in deze Grand Prix. Met een mooie tweede plaats voor Britt Schaper in the air. Lynn Arvidsson derde, Yves Priem op een vierde plaats. Vijfde Loris Dubuisson en de Duitse Amy Helfrich eindigt hier als zesde. Prize giving ceremony, Sportvod Prix, the Children Grand Prix, the winner for Great Britain, Nora van Below. With a clear round 37.96, the winner of the Sportvod Prix, the Children Grand Prix, representing Great Britain. A big hand. Let's hear you for Nora van Below. The flag will be on the screen. Please all rise for the national anthem of Great Britain. Wilt u gaan staan? The winner, Nora van Below, Great Britain, congratulations. Event Director Sherine Hogekamp zal de felicitaties overbrengen aan de Britse Amazone met haar paard Lucky Liza. Zo'n mooie scherp omgangen, prachtige statiedeken en de ereprijs voor Nora van Below. Uitstekende tweede plaats voor Britt Schaper en In the Air. Third for Sweden, Lynn Arvidsson. Op een vierde plaats voor Nederland, Yves Priem. Fifth from Belgium, Loris Dubuisson. Place number 6 for Germany, Amy Helfrich. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the lap of honor, the music also, and the winner also for Great Britain. Once again, Nora van Below. And there they are once again. Children Grand Prix for Great Britain with Lucky Eliza, Nora von Budov. Witschaper, Lynn Arvidsson, Yves Kuprim, Loris Dubuisson, Amy Helfrich. Thank you all for being here today. Have a nice evening. Don't forget it, disco evening with DJ Tunard indoor next to the secretary office. And we see you tomorrow. Tot morgen.
Good evening again, everybody. We're here now with the winner of the Children's Grand Prix, and she seems happy. I mean, look at her smile. Well, do you have something to say about this amazing win in this arena?
I couldn't have done it without my horse. She is super honest and she's just a 1 in a million.
Can you remind us her name, how long you've ridden her for, the last experiences that you had before coming here to Pilbergen?
I've had her for a year and a bit, and I recently took her to the Europeans. We got a bronze team medal. Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank
Congrats for another big win.
you. Thank you.
Do you have, some feelings after this win? You're collecting medals here.
I was a bit nervous, going into it, watching the ponies struggle a bit because it's a similar course. But she just gives me great confidence, and it's amazing.
That's the best thing to hear. To hear from a rider that her horse gives the best confidence and best rounds from what we saw, is the best thing to say, no?
Yeah.
Who would you like to thank for this win? I think you have a team behind you. I saw also behind the stables and in the warm-up that you have a big team supporting you.
Well, my trainer, he is very involved and he wants the best outcome. Also my team, GB, they also just are very supportive.
Well, that's really nice to hear. Next shows in program?
Well, I've got some big competitions in England, and then we go abroad a bit in November.
Oh, well, good luck. Good luck for this journey and good luck for your future competitions. We'll see you tomorrow morning with another amazing rounds, we hope. And, well, we wish you a good evening. Goodbye.